Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Of course, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. There's so much news at the moment about cases that we've been looking at and information. Honest to God, I could literally be on live stream constantly. Of course, other things, I have to do other things. But this, from next week onwards, I don't have many classes, of course, over the Christmas period. I don't have many Spanish or English classes, which for those of you who know me. Oh, I should really say my name's Vicky Marie. I'm based in mainland Spain. If you haven't been to my channel before or you don't know me, I am also in my other life, if you like, apart from being a true crime YouTuber, I am a Spanish and English teacher. So I try and fit the two in now. Sometimes it's difficult because, teaching Spanish or English, that's my sort of bread and butter type. That's my job, if you like. That's what pays the bills. But I enjoy talking about true crime. I enjoy giving a voice to the voiceless. And it's intriguing, isn't it? I think we're all intrigued. We want to know why people do things. And we want to know how we can keep ourselves safe or our loved ones safe. I think this is why we get a fascination with true crime, isn't it? Anyway, as I keep saying, that's really a subject for a whole video of its own, isn't it? Why are we all so fascinated with true crime? But yeah, I talk about crimes mainly in the USA, Australia, or the United Kingdom, but also other parts of Europe, unsolved crimes, current crimes, things that are going on. Yesterday, we saw some justice. We had the results of we had 2 sentences from 2 cases that we've been following, the Sarah Sharif trial, which was a really good result in the sense of sentencing. And the same with Adam Fravel in the Madeleine Kingsbury trial, who murdered his partner, Madeleine. I was thinking about that. It's took a long time, that trial, hasn't it? Because that was last year. Madeleine went missing. I think it was the 1st of March. Did take 2 months before her body was found, but still that's been a lot. Some trials seem to come sooner than others, don't they? It's quite strange. But anyway, he's been given life without parole. So we've had 2 good results yesterday as far as justice is concerned. But of course, it never brings back those loved ones. It never brings back those people that have been robbed of their future, and their families have been robbed of their presence. And in Madeleine's case, of course, 2 children were robbed of a mother. So, and really, even in the Sarah Sharif trial, though, you could think that it's probably lucky that their children have been their parents have been taken away from them to go to prison. It's probably a good job, to be honest. There weren't much of parents, to be honest. Anyway, but today, in this video, we're going to talk about an incident last year in the UK, in Southport in the UK. There won't be many people who don't know about this case. These 3 little angels were brutally murdered by, he's got to go to, he's innocent till he's proven guilty, by Axel Rudakabana, only a child himself, really. He was 17 when he committed this crime. He's now 18. He was 18 about 2 weeks later. But that does mean, I suppose, that he will be tried as a minor, even though he's not a minor now. Because at the time of the actual murders happening, he was under 18. So I'm presuming that's how he'd be tried. I don't know. This is a very, very controversial case for various reasons that I'm going to explain. So I just want to say, please be respectful. You've all got your views, and that's fine. But please don't, put it down to a certain religion or whatever, because we don't actually know all the full details yet anyway. We still don't know. You know, the police say they're not not treating it as a terrorist incident, which seems pretty ridiculous in light of things that have come out about Axel. But we've got to wait for the trial, I suppose, and maybe the police are just saying that because, you know, of course, this resulted, there was a lot of false information flying around at the time that this happened. And a completely wrong name was circulating around social media, and it was supposed to, because they did not, in the beginning, because he was only 17, they would not give his identity, so people were making up an identity and saying it was an immigrant who was in a migrant hotel nearby, etc., etc. So there was a lot of falsehoods went out there, and then that resulted in all the riots through the summer. It was a very hot time in the UK, weather-wise, and I think that always sort of incites. You know, if people are feeling it already, feeling very strongly about something already, then hot weather, etc., just makes it worse. Shh. Anyway, that was controlled in the end by the police, and a lot of people have been prosecuted for their role in the riots that ensued in this case. Tia, stop. Anyway, Axel is appearing in court today. He could be appearing there as we speak. It's been delayed and delayed. And that's what we're going to talk about. But first of all, I just want to thank everyone for being subscribers, for liking my videos, for sharing my videos. I've got a special thanks to give to one of my followers who doesn't want to be, you know, doesn't want it to be public, but you know who you are. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And this candle that I've already lit is for a relative of theirs. They're one of these people that are going to be facing Christmas this year without a loved one, unfortunately. But again, imagine for Elsie Dot. So these three little angels that are no longer with us, Elsie Dot, Alicia and Bebe, their families are having to face this first Christmas now without these little girls. And of course, that's even worse in a way, because these girls never had any life. You know, there's never a good time, a right time for somebody to leave this planet as far as their loved ones are concerned. You know, you could lose your mum in their 90s, or lose your partner, or whoever you lose. It doesn't matter how old they are. It's terrible. But it's especially bad, of course, for these little girls, because they had no life whatsoever. And of course, it was so brutal as well, you know, the way they were killed. But we're not going to go into that. I just wanted to mention them. I want to leave their little faces there. We always have to remember that this is about them. And it's a complex one, though. Oh, so as well as the one candle that I've lit for someone who's been very kind to me, thank you. Also, a candle each for the girls. So, 3 smaller candles for these little ones for Elsie. Elsie Dot, her family like to call her. For Alicia. And BB. Yeah, 3 little girls, their lives snuffed out by this young man. I mean, the thing is, it's very difficult because he was so young himself as well. And until the trial, we won't know the full story of why Axel Rudakabana did this. Now, it seems like Axel was, he is not an immigrant in the sense of he was born in Cardiff. His parents were Rwandan immigrants. He was born, so he is British, and he was brought up as a Christian. Now, whether he was actually radicalized online recently, we don't know. They haven't released that information. I feel like the police are sort of drip feeding us with information, maybe for good reason, because they don't want a repeat of the riots. It's not that I don't understand why they've got to be cautious about information that they let out. They've got to manage it and that, but still, people don't like being lied to, do they? And there's no one more than me who is not. I am not an anti-immigration. I have nothing against immigrants whatsoever, but I think telling lies about the circumstances of why somebody has done something is not a good thing, is it? Because people get even more suspicious then. And even me, people who normally would not get involved in these sort of theories. Now I'm thinking, well, what haven't the police told us? So anyway, his trial is going to take place in January. But what's happening now, I suppose, today, supposedly, I think he's supposed to give a plea, but it's been delayed and delayed. I'm hoping that as we're online, I'll be able to talk to you about it. But another thing that was interesting is this wasn't, I check the news every morning, normally Sky News, BBC, various news sources. Nothing on the UK news. I've learned about this through an American X account that I follow who was talking about it. Right, what? Why is this not being on the British news? Anyway, I did find this live feed that we're going to look at from the Liverpool Echo. And that's what we're going to follow and see if, So I've been following it anyway. It was saying that it was put back through technical issues, and I don't even believe that now. I'm thinking, was it technical issues? Why has it been delayed, this hearing? Axel has not been photographed since he was arrested. But of course, what emerges are these kind of, have I got a picture here? What emerges are the pictures, like the court drawings and things like that. That's really all we've got. This was, I think, from the last court appearance that he did. We've got the only photos that we've got of Axel are of when he was a lot younger. And I mean a lot younger, maybe when he was 13 or 14, because of course he was in a Doctor Who promotional video, a Children in Need video, I think it was. Let's see if I can find that, which is really ironic when you think about it. Now, I also want to say a little prayer as well for his parents, because this won't be easy for them, especially if they are Christians. And if he has been radicalized, which we don't know yet, but what I'm going to explain to you in a minute makes us think that probably he has been radicalized. Come on, just tell the truth, for God's sake, media. We don't need, at some point you have to trust the public to, think. To take decisions. You have to be transparent. This is what I do like about the way things are in America, because they are transparent, at least, or quite transparent. I mean, it's difficult to be completely transparent because, especially when there's an investigation going on, you've got to be careful, because you've got to be really careful about who and what you say. Right, let's have a look at this video. So this is Axel when he was, I think he was about 13 on this. Let's just have a look. And he appeared in this video. I don't know how he got to appear in this video. Why was Axel chosen? I don't know. But he was chosen, and he appeared in this Doctor Who video.
You could even dress up as every Doctor Who ever.
Yeah. So he's also accused of 10 other attempted murders. And one of the teachers at this dance studio, she was very poorly, but I think she's okay now. She was released from hospital. Then she had to be readmitted. But so yeah, he's also accused of 10 attempted murders, including those of 8 more children. So for some reason, he got up on that morning, which was a Monday. Why do things always happen on a Monday? And he got a taxi, went off to this Taylor Swift. There was going to be a Taylor Swift dance workshop. Now, a lot of people, because there was another attack at a Taylor Swift concert was it Germany where that one was, and that was terror related. Were they attacking Taylor Swift? To me, I don't think maybe there's any significance in that it was Taylor Swift, except that Taylor Swift is high profile. So if there was some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? If there was some sort of conspiracy between people online, it makes sense to attack, a Taylor Swift themed thing, just as it was for Ariana Grande in the Manchester bombing. You know, they're looking for maximum publicity, maximum effect. And at the time, Taylor Swift was doing her tour around the world, and certainly around Europe. And of course, Taylor Swift is a massive star. So that seems, I don't know if there's anything specifically can link to Taylor Swift as a person, more that would just, they just knew that would attract the most publicity. Yeah, so how did this boy go from, being in this Doctor Who sort of children in need commercial to then going and murdering 3 children and trying to murder many others? Will this come out in court? Was he radicalized, online? Because he had some items in his house that we're going to look at in a minute, the items that he had in his house that would suggest that he had become radicalized. But the police are saying, no, it's not terrorist related. I mean, come on, do you really think we're fools? Of course, must be a little bit terror related if he's got all those things in his house. You must be transparent with people, because people don't believe you anyway. So, I understand it at the time, and the emotions were running high, and, everyone had to be calmed down. And I understand that. There were people who were frightened to go out the house because they were Muslim, or, even if they had the wrong colour skin or whatever. Because the thing is, if you are a Muslim as well, you can't hide it. If you're wearing a hijab anyway, the women can't. You're going out with a hijab because that's what you believe in. You should be able to wear what you want when you go out in the street. You shouldn't be attacked because you are Muslim. Just even if he was a radicalized Muslim, doesn't mean to say that all Muslims are like that. I won't have that. So I don't like that kind of thing. I'm not saying that at all. I expect most Muslims were totally outraged by anything. Just like if a Christian person goes out and does something terrible, you don't think, oh God, all Christians are this, that, or the other, do you? Or, you just don't. You have to be sensible. People are bad. Some people are bad. And I do think with this radicalization, I think I wonder if, and I am speculating now, but it just makes sense. I wonder if during COVID, etc., when Axel would have been a young teenager, I do blame COVID for most things, to be honest. But yeah, I did a video about it, didn't I? These bedroom terrorists, they're just young lads, mainly lads, but women as well, girls as well, sitting at home in their bedroom, bored, going through that sort of Rage Against the Machine stage where they want to rebel against their parents, rebel against society. And now they don't even have to move out their bedroom to do it. Years ago, you would have had to go out at least to meet up with these groups, etc. Now you don't even have to go out. Just have to tap in something on the computer. And they are vulnerable. They are perfect victims for radicalists, be it far left or far right or Muslim or whatever, cults, you name it. Young people are always vulnerable to those kind of things because they're going through a difficult time. They don't know who they are. They don't know what their beliefs are. They might be bucking against their parents. So if his parents were Christians, then he might be thinking, oh, they're a load of rubbish. So I'm not going to be a Christian. I'm going to be a Muslim or whatever. There's a lot of, there's a lot of rebellion with teenagers, isn't there? Just for the fact they don't want to be like their parents, and normally it'd be something like, I don't know, be something a bit more similar, isn't it? Like simple, like your parents vote Conservative, so you want to vote Labour, or you become a Marxist, but you don't normally go out stabbing children. I mean, that is completely extreme, of course. But it could be there's extremism. Young people are vulnerable to being converted to extremism of any kind, and I think that's probably what did happen to Axel. But it's a bit annoying that we're not being told the truth about it, isn't it? Anyway, so I think, I don't know, I can't remember now if I said hello to anyone or not, but hi David, hi Laurie, hi Darren. Hi, Admit. Yeah, there's definitely. I was reading at Sonia Paulson. What something she was saying, not particularly about this, but just things in general. Because now she does a YouTube program every morning, like a radio, like her own radio show, isn't it? And she of course worked in the mainstream media for years, but she said you just get, you're only allowed to talk about, there's like a little tiny thing that you're allowed to talk about, and anything outside that you can't talk about. So I honestly, it's like Russia. People moan about Russia, but I think in Britain actually we're even more constrained with the news they get a list in the morning. This is what we're going to talk about today. And that's it, and you can't go outside of that. Or even if you can talk about other things, but there's a narrative that you've got to stick to. So that's why social media is irritating all the mainstream media so much, because on social media people can say what the hell they want, and sometimes it's a bit annoying because people do talk a load of crap because they don't get it verified or whatever. So you do get that as well, unfortunately. Like with the name that was first released for the person who'd done this, it was a completely false name. And, there's people out there on the far right that would have been doing that deliberately. So you've got everything you see on social media as well. You do have to take it with a pinch of salt and think behind it, because just because it's on social media doesn't mean it's absolutely true either. So there's, I think, really, when I think about it, it's quite good, because I think now we are being challenged more to think for ourselves. Maybe that's why we've all got mental health issues, because years ago you never had to think about anything. The news told you what to think, the royal family told you what to think, or the politicians told you what to think, and people would just accept their lot, wouldn't they? they would just go, oh, well, you know, we're the working class, or we're the people that go off and fight the wars. This is what, there was no questioning of anything. So you just did it. And although that's obviously not good, but there's a sort of a peace in it as well, if you like, because it's like, well, yeah, well, this is what we do. You know, yeah, we go to war if the king tells us to. We fight for our king and country, or queen and country. And now people will be saying, oh, hang on a minute, I don't think I want to go to war, actually. You know, whereas before you just wouldn't have even questioned it. And people question everything nowadays. And that's a good thing in one way. But of course, maybe in another way it's not. There's a sort of a peace in somebody telling you just what to do, you know, as long as it's nothing terrible, as long as you've got like the basic things of life and what have you. And you know, I know lots of people who are perfectly happy with their lot, that, you know, they just get on with their lives. They don't, you know, who are the happiest people in the world? I think when you look at villages like, and places like that where they haven't got much, it feels like the more we strive for, the more unhappy we get, because we're always wanting the next thing. Nothing's ever good enough, etc. Anyway, again, I'm going off on a tangent. That's for another video. So let's have a look and see what's going on at the court this morning, if there's been any update, because I was following the Liverpool Echo, but it kept saying it was delayed. So this is how it started at 9:46. Southport stabbing suspect to appear in court today. Good morning from Liverpool Crown Court. We're just waiting to be admitted to courtroom 41 at the moment, with the case listed to begin from 10:30. It's expected there will be a large media presence today, with the adjacent courtroom 42 being used as an overflow court where proceedings will be screened via video link. Who is representing who in court? Just to run you through the various counsel in the case. Diana Hare KC and Philip Asprey appear for the prosecution. Rudakabana is represented by Stanley Reyes KC and Carmel Wild. He will be appearing via video link from Belmarsh Prison. So he's in Belmarsh Prison, which I don't, is that near? That's not nearby, is it? Oh, no, it's in London. So Belmarsh Prison is a Category A men's prison in Thamesmead, southeast London. So let's just have a look at that. Oh, God. And it's been called Britain's Guantanamo Bay due to the long-term detention of terrorism suspects without charge. Now, sorry, I was going to swear then. They put him in a terrorist prison, but they're saying that he has no links, that it wasn't terrorist motivated. Come on. Come on. So it's notoriously known as Belmarsh due to the high number of physical and authority abuses reported by both the prison's inmates, who include former politician Jeffrey Archer, who coined the name and was imprisoned there for 4 years for perjury, and by human rights activists. Why is he there? So don't forget, this crime happened in Southport. I expect they've got to keep him out of that area. I understand that. I understand why they would take him to a different area. What? But they're saying it's the long-term detention of terrorism suspects. They've put him in a prison where they keep terrorists, but he's not terrorist related. Do you know? Oh, come on. Come on. You know, don't take the pee out of the public. So today, it's a Category A prison holding inmates from all over England and Wales. Now, until he was 18, he was in a young offenders place, I think. It also houses other categories of prisoners from primarily the Central Criminal Court, the Old Bailey, and Magistrates' Courts in South East London. But he's being tried in Liverpool Crown Court. Accommodation at the prison is a mixture of approximately 60% multi-occupancy cells and 40% single cells. God, you wouldn't want to go in with other people, would you, in there? Well, hopefully I'll never end up in Belmarsh, but please give me a single cell. Couldn't be doing with being in with other people. Inmates at Belmarsh are offered access to education, workshops and 2 gyms. The gym staff have a partnership with Charlton Athletic FC to deliver FA accredited coaching courses for prisoners. A listener scheme for prisoners at risk from suicide or self-harm is in operation, as is a support group providing advice on immigration law for foreign national prisoners. Well, he's not foreign. So who current inmates? There, look. Ali Harbi Ali, who murdered MP David Amos. That was a terrorist incident. Paul Des Ballard, a television presenter who caused death by dangerous driving and various other crimes, including rape. I don't even know who he is. Television presenter. David Copeland, a neo-Nazi who bombed a gay pub, Brixton Market and Brick Lane. So that's terrorism as well, isn't it? Luis de Zoiza shot dead an on-duty police sergeant at Croydon Police Station in September 2020. I don't know if that was terrorist or not. Now, Delroy Grant, the Night Stalker, who was a serial rapist and burglar, he's not a terrorist. He's just an absolute twonk. He killed and raped a lot of elderly people, didn't he? Daniel Hussein murdered 2 sisters in a London park. Oh, Daniel Khalif. Daniel Khalif, he's the one that escaped. He's a terrorist. Former UK Armed Forces soldier and prison escaper. Stephen Port, the grinder killer. Now, he's not a terrorist, but he's a piece of shit, of course. He's the serial killer and serial rapist of men. The grinder killer. And then it's got Axel Rudakabana. Oh, well done, Axel. Look, you're on this, list of honour. And Kerry Sadala, who stabbed 3 people to death in a Reading park and seriously injured others in Reading. Gosh. So, yeah. And going down the former inmates. Oh, Wayne Couzens was there, but he's been moved. Ian Huntley was there, but he's been moved. So there's a lot of terrorist type people. Oh, Tommy Robinson was in there. That's odd, isn't it? An odd combination. Maybe he was in there. Oh, Charles Bronson was in there. Ronnie Biggs was in there. Julian Assange. I think it's interesting. I think it's relevant that they've taken this boy to this place. Why have they taken him to Belmarsh? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Okay, let's go back to the... Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, Tommy Robinson, admit. Yeah, this is definitely a terrorist incident. And the sooner the police just say that it is, the better, to be honest. They're not going to be riots now. It's too cold and too many people have been in prison for the riots. I understand why they didn't want to say it at the time, because there was a lot of, it was literally, Britain was on the verge of exploding, really, wasn't it? I mean, it was a very, very scary times, but they need to say this now, I think. So anyway, when we read about, I think they put Tommy Robinson in there too. Tommy Robinson's a mole, I think. I think Tommy, this is only my opinion, it's total speculation. I think Tommy Robinson is like he would have been put in there as some sort of mole or something. I think he's being paid by the establishment. I literally do think that. Because he, of course, he's in prison at the moment, isn't he? I don't know which prison he's in at the moment, but he is in prison, I think. They call him I think he's like a paid shill of the establishment, and maybe he was there to try and find out what he could or whatever. I literally do think Tommy Robinson is paid by the establishment for whatever reason, whether it's to stir up division, whether it's to find out things. I don't believe he's a genuine activist. I believe he is. That's only my opinion. Some people think Tommy Robinson's bloody fantastic, don't they? Personally, I think he could have been in there to see and trying to see what he could find out. What he could. He could be a government spy or something. Nothing's. Listen, I've learned not to think anything's unreasonable. But yeah, there's something about Tommy. I don't know. I don't think he's. That's what I think he's doing, to be honest. I think he's being paid to be an activist, to stir things up or to find out things, maybe for a good reason. So where are we? So who is representing who in court? Just to run you through the various counsel in the case. Diana Hare, Casey and Philip Asprey appear for the prosecution. Rudakabana is represented by Stanley Reyes, Casey and Carmel Wide. Oh yeah, and that's where we'd got to, isn't it? So the judge is Mr. Justice Goose. God, you couldn't make it up, could you? So at 10:22, there was delays due to technical issues in court. We understand there are technical issues in court and the hearing will now not begin until around 11. Which is 12 in Spain. Well, we're now on 1:30, so I'm presuming that it started by now. There are around 24 members of the press who have so far gathered in order to gain entry. 11:10, there were further delays. It's hoped that the case will be called on shortly. Members of the press and the public are currently waiting to be admitted to the courtroom. Now, I'm not being funny, but, a big high-profile case like this couldn't have sorted out the sound issues. I don't believe that either. There'd be a different reason. Maybe they found a bomb or something, or maybe he's refusing to go into court. I don't believe it. I think the reason they're delaying it will be a different reason. You're telling me that they have a big case like this coming up and they don't sort the sound issues out before they start? Then, at 11:40, again, another delay. Case will not be heard before midday. We have been informed that the case will now not be heard before 12 p.m. We will have updates as and when the hearing does begin. Oh, look at that, at 11:50, case not being called on until this afternoon. Oh, what? I'm going to have to go off and come back later. We are now hearing that the case will not be called on before 2 p.m. That's it. Oh my God. There's something so suspicious about this whole thing, isn't it? Whole thing is suspicious. Things going on. I know we talk about anticlimax. There's things going on in this case that we will never find out. Oh, maybe we'll find out about, I don't know, in 30, 40 years, I won't be here to find those things out. But you know what? Oh my God, something weird going on with this case. So let me just read to you. So, they say it's not a terrorist thing. Let's have a look at look at what he's being charged for. So, Axel Rudakabana will appear in court this morning, charged with murder in relation to the Southport stabbings. The 18-year-old of Banks in West Lancashire is expected to enter pleas at a hearing at Liverpool Crown Court today, Wednesday, December the 18th. So, why is he being kept in Belmarsh? And then when his case is, he's probably got caught in traffic or something. So they've got to drive him all the way from London. This is so odd, isn't it? So suspicious. Rudakabana is accused of murdering 6-year-old Baby King, bless her, 7-year-old Elsie Stankham, and 9-year-old Alice da Silva Aguiar, who were killed during a Taylor Swift themed dance class at the Heart Space in the town on July 29th this year. It's quite quick as well, isn't it? The trial, if it's January. I'm thinking about Sarah Sharif trial, how long that took to come about. Anyway, Rudakabana is further charged with attempted to murder 8 other children. I think they'll want to get this trial over with before the summer. They won't want a repeat of last year. It's when it comes to the summer, if it gets hot and it's warm enough for people to go out and riot and what have you. They'll want to get this trial done in January, February, when it's freezing cold. So just in case people do want to take to the streets or whatever, they're less likely to do it, aren't they, in January and February, because it's freezing. So I think it's all engineered, isn't it? So he's further charged with attempting to murder 8 other children who can't be named for legal reasons, and 2 adults, Leanne Lucas and John Hayes, who were also stabbed during the incident. And I just want to say, I have actually seen the CCTV of this incident, which obviously I'm never going to show in a million years. And I didn't go looking for it. It's a bit of a long story, but I have seen the scenes were terrifying, awful. You can't even imagine how awful they were. And, this boy, the thought that a 17-year-old boy actually went out and did that deliberately. What kind of, what's the word that word when you sort of can distance yourself from such awful thing, like people can live with bodies in their house for years because they're so removed from reality. So how did this boy at the age of 17 go and do that? And as I say, I've seen it. How could you do it? How could you look that little girl or those little girls in the face? Well, he did stab them in the back, so that's maybe he didn't look at the face or whatever. But how crazy do you have to be? I don't care how radicalized you are. And I know that children, there's a lot, to kill children. So these terrorists, they sort of say things, and I know it's awful what Israel are doing to the children. I'm not giving any allowance to anyone who kills children, whether it be a government, whether it be an individual. To me, they're all the same. They're all a piece of shit, to be honest. And Israel, they're just awful. But then Hamas were awful. They're all awful. You don't get into this sort of blame game as, oh, you're more awful than we are. You're all just the same, in my eyes. You kill children, whatever religion, whatever creed, whatever, you're a piece of shit. Be you British, the British Army killed children, or the Germans killed children, or anyone who's fought a war has killed children. The Americans dropped an atomic bomb on a city and killed a load of children. There's no difference to me in any of that. Honestly, it's just not, just stop effing killing children, whoever you are. Anyway, sorry, got carried away there. So, how could you do it? I mean, what level of distance or level of, How do you distance yourself from that, especially up close and personal like that? Of course, you know, the Americans and other big, they call it collateral damage, don't they? You know, that is dead children collateral damage. You know, just, oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, we were trying to get at Hamas, or we're trying to get at Saddam Hussein or whoever. But yeah, we murdered a load of children in the process, but that's just collateral damage. Makes no difference to me. But it's still, to go up at personal and actually, you know, stab a child is unbelievable to me. You know, I just can't get your head around it. So these are the other things he was charged with. So somebody please tell me that this boy, that this is not a terrorism case, like the police keep saying. We've no reason to believe this is connected with terrorism. He's also charged with possession of a bladed article in a public place, namely a kitchen knife with a curved blade. Also charged with having a biological toxin, namely ricin, and possession of information of a kind likely to be useful to a person committing or preparing an act of terrorism, namely a PDF file entitled Military Studies in the Jihad Against the Tyrants, the Al-Qaeda Training Manual. But it's nothing to do with terrorism. I mean, how thick do they think people are? How thick, really, do they think people are that this case is, so they're saying, the police are saying still, it's not connected with terrorism. So he's being kept in Belmarsh Prison. He had a biological toxin. He had a PDF file from Al-Qaeda, but it's nothing to do with terrorism. It's a load of cojones. Absolute load of cojones, isn't it? You know, they just think people are idiots. Makes me really angry because I'm a person who doesn't like immigrant bashing or religion bashing, but I don't like being lied to either. People telling me that it's not a terrorist incident. Obviously it is. This boy has been radicalized for whatever reason. You know, I'm not, it just makes me speechless, you know, just makes me speechless. Hi, Jean Bissett. Hi, anyone I might have missed coming in. I hope I haven't. I don't think I have. So somebody tell me this is not terrorism connected. Now, he may have been radicalized online. He's a young, I'm not saying he's like what's the word, like, you know, a sort of terrorist mastermind or anything, but he's been radicalized. Of course he has. Just, you know, you don't need it's not rocket science. You don't need a degree. You don't need an IQ of over 100 to work out that this guy was influenced by terrorism just because of the things he had. You know, do you think if I went in looked through my son's things, I would find anything like that? No. Yeah. Anyway, so it's not going to be held till this afternoon, so I'm going to go and have my lunch now, but I will be back later to let you know what happens. So yeah, this is not he'll enter his plea, I think, in this case. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows the real reasons why it's been who knows the real reasons why it's been delayed? We'll probably never get to know what the real reasons are. It's probably nothing to do with sound issues. You know, who knows? Hi, Andrew. Well, listen, Christians have done loads of horrible things. You know, they to me, anything you do in the name of religion, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, a Muslim, if you're a bloody screaming, monster, raving, loony religion. You do it in the name of religion when most religions, the first thing that, you know, the fundamental thing is don't kill other people. You know, you can go back to the Old Testament and bring up things like, oh, eye for an eye and all that shite. But when you come into religion, you know, like the Christian religion, what Jesus says, if you believe in religion and you believe in Jesus, Jesus did not tell anyone to go and kill someone. So, but Christians kill people all the time as well. So it's not exclusive to Muslims or any other religion. Religion, to me, honestly, well, I'm thinking of becoming a Buddhist because I've been looking into Buddhism because they definitely don't kill anyone. So I don't like these religions that can be twisted. People can twist the Quran. You know, you can read the Quran, you can twist it and say, oh yeah, you know, kill the infidels and this load of rubbish. Or you can read the Quran and take the good things out of it. Same with the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Bible. You know, at the end of the day, none of those religions really, you're supposed to kill anyone. It's nobody's right to kill anybody. You know, people are here on this planet for a reason. It's not up to us to decide when they should go on to the next plane or not. Anyway, that's my opinion. So, yeah, I don't, you know, Christians have done terrible things. And, you know, most of the true crime cases I follow, especially from America, sorry, America, but it's true, they're normally Christian people who go to church every Sunday and then murder the wife or the children, or the wife and the children, or, you know, serial killers. They're all Christians, you know. So, yeah, you can twist anything to suit your beliefs. If somebody, I honestly think that's what people do. They twist things, but really they're just a horrible person. It's not because Christ was a horrible person or even, you know, or any of it. They're just twisting it to suit themselves. And I don't know if I believe in Christ, but I do believe in the teachings of Christ. So there you go. Andrew, who said the cross is a farce? Joe, you're just trolling, aren't you? You know, I'll say a little prayer for you. In fact, let's light a candle for Andrew, because Andrew needs one, because he gets pleasure out of trolling. You know, just go and watch something else. Go and watch another YouTube channel that agrees with you, please. So, Andrew, honey, I hope you have a nice Christmas, because it seems like maybe you're not going to have a very nice Christmas. But this little candle is for you because you need it. Prayers for Andrew. Prayers for Andrew. Hi, Heather. Heather, come on, you've come in at the end again. Are you working today? Yeah. Do you know, I do quite like the trolleys sometimes, because sometimes I think that if I'm not getting trolleyed, I'm not upsetting people enough. You know, if somebody thinks it's important enough to come on and say something, even a troll, it's quite fun, isn't it, in a way? And I do feel sorry for him. I feel so sorry for you, Andrew. It feels like you're not going to have a very good Christmas. I hope you do have a good Christmas. I honestly do, from the heart. But thank you for helping my algorithm. I appreciate it. Yeah, he gets a tea light. I've only got a tea light. Well, he doesn't even deserve a tea light, really, but he's got a tea light. Okay, I've got to go because I'm going to go and have my lunch. So we'll find out later, hopefully, if this, maybe it won't even happen, because it feels like there's something going on behind the scenes, doesn't it, as to why this hearing or whatever else is been late. Exactly. At least I'm worth trolling. I quite like the trolleys, actually. I've got a few that they make me up, because a few of them are like regular. I mean, Andrew, that's just like, you know, could be anyone, couldn't it? I've never seen him before. But I have some trolleys who come on, and I know that they've been trolls for over a year and a half. So they're like still watching my videos. Why? Why? You know, and you don't hear from them for ages, and then they come on with a comment, and you just think, okay, so you're still watching then, thank you. You know, why are they still watching if they don't like my channel and they haven't liked it? You know, it was over a year ago they said to me, I'm never watching you again, but they're still watching. Do you know, it's hilarious, really. It sort of is. Trolls are us. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a mug put together with that one. Trolls are us. Trolley dollies are us. And they do give us a little smile as well, don't they? They do make us laugh as well, because they just say the most ridiculous things. What did he say today? Because David called him son. And he made some comment, didn't he? What did he say? Son. Hey, thank you, kiddo. Yeah, because he's obviously a lot older. Yeah, they are quite funny as well. Anyway, I'm going to go and have my lunch, but I'll be back later. So Andrew, put the kettle on. I'll see you later after you've had your lunch if you want to come back. And I haven't even blocked him. It's just, I'm not blocking you. You come back and have a little chat with us. I'll see you soon, all of you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Adios. Adios, amigos.